Today, I'm challenging myself to tackle 50 quiz questions to see if I'm really as smart as I think I am. If you're ready to put your knowledge to the test and see how you stack up, then you're in the right place. In this video, we're going to have some fun and answer 50 quiz questions that will challenge your intelligence and make you think outside the box. You think you're smart, but are you really? We're about to find out. In the next 50 questions, we'll be covering everything from history to science, from pop culture to literature. It's going to be a wild ride, and I'm excited to see how I do. I'm a little nervous, too. What if I don't do as well as I think I will? But that's all part of the fun, right? The rules are simple. I'll ask you a question, you think about it for a few seconds, and then I'll give you the answer. Some of these questions might be easy, but others will be tough. Really tough. You'll need to think quickly and use all of your knowledge to get the right answer. And don't worry if you don't know something. We'll learn it together. So, are you ready to get started? We've got 50 questions to get through, and I'm excited to see how we do. Let's get started and find out just how smart we really are. What is the world's largest living structure according to the Guinness World Records? Take a few seconds to think about it. All right, here's the answer. The Great Barrier Reef. Isn't that amazing? The Great Barrier Reef is not only the world's largest living structure, but it's also one of the most biologically diverse ecosystems on the planet. What is the chemical symbol for gold? Think you know the answer? Yeah, it's a pretty easy one. All right, here's the answer. Au. That's right. Au is the chemical symbol for gold, and it comes from the Latin word for gold, aurum. What is the highest mountain peak in the solar system? Take a few seconds to think about it. All right, here's the answer. Olympus Mons on Mars. That's right. Olympus Mons is not only the highest mountain peak on Mars, but it's also the highest mountain peak in the entire solar system. What is the deepest part of the ocean? Think you know the answer? Yeah, it's a pretty tough one. All right, here is the answer. The Challenger Deep, in the Mariana Trench. That's right, the Challenger Deep is the lowest point on Earth, with a depth of over 36,000 feet. One of the most interesting questions so far is about the shortest war in history. Can you guess how long it lasted? Think about it for a second. All right, here's the answer. 38 minutes. That's right. The shortest war in history was between Britain and Zanzibar on August 27th, 1896, and it lasted only 38 minutes. I've got to say, some of these questions are really stumping me, but it's okay. We're learning together, and that's what matters. Take this one, for example. What is the longest word in the English language that can be typed using only the left hand on a standard keyboard? Think about it for a second. All right, here's the answer. Stroll. That's right. The longest word in the English language that can be typed using only the left hand on a standard keyboard is stroll. These questions are really making me think outside the box. Take this one, for example. What is the only bird that can fly backwards? Think about it for a second. All right, here's the answer. The hummingbird. That's right. Hummingbirds are able to fly backwards because of their unique physiology and wing structure. Here's a tricky one. What is the only planet in our solar system that rotates on its side? Think about it. All right, here's the answer. Uranus. That's right. Unlike the other planets, Uranus is tilted almost completely on its side, making it truly unique. Time for a pop culture question. Who was the first Disney princess? Take a moment to guess. The answer is Snow White. She made her debut in 1937 in Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Disney's very first animated feature film. Let's talk about food. What is the main ingredient in traditional Japanese miso soup? Take a guess. And the answer is fermented soybeans. Miso paste, made from fermented soybeans, gives the soup its rich and savory umami flavor. Here's a historical one for you. What year did the Titanic sink? Think you know it? The answer is 1912. The Titanic tragically hit an iceberg on April 14th, 1912, and sank in the early hours of April 15th. This one's a little bizarre. What's the only mammal capable of sustained flight? Think about it. The answer is bats. Unlike flying squirrels that glide, bats are the only mammals that truly fly. Let's get scientific. What gas do plants absorb from the atmosphere? Take a moment. The answer is carbon dioxide, CO2. Through photosynthesis, plants absorb CO2 and release oxygen. Okay, let's switch it up with a fun geography question. What is the smallest country in the world? Take a guess. And the answer is Vatican City. This tiny independent state located within Rome, Italy, is just 0.49 square kilometers. Here's one for music lovers. What legendary rock band was Freddie Mercury a part of? Think about it. The answer is Queen. Freddie Mercury was the iconic lead singer of Queen, known for hits like Bohemian Rhapsody and We Will Rock You. Time for a math challenge. What is the only even prime number? Take a second. The answer is 2. All prime numbers are odd, but 2 is the only even number that qualifies. Let's talk about the human body. What is the strongest muscle based on its size in the human body? Think about it. The answer is the jaw muscle, masseter. It allows you to bite down with incredible force. Here's a tricky one. What country gifted the United States the Statue of Liberty? Take a guess. And the answer is France. France gifted the Statue of Liberty to the US in 1886 as a symbol of friendship. Feeling adventurous? What is the largest desert in the world? Think carefully. The answer is Antarctica. Yes, even though it's covered in ice, Antarctica is technically a desert because it receives very little precipitation. Let's go back in time. Who painted the Mona Lisa? Take a moment. The answer is Leonardo da Vinci. This iconic painting has fascinated art lovers for centuries. Here's a sports question. What is the only country to have played in every FIFA World Cup? Take a guess. The answer is Brazil. Since the first World Cup in 1930, Brazil has never missed a tournament. What is the capital city of Canada? Think about it. The answer is Ottawa. While many assume Toronto or Vancouver, Ottawa is the official capital. Let's test your space knowledge. What is the hottest planet in the solar system? Take a moment. The answer is Venus. Even though Mercury is closer to the Sun, Venus has a thick atmosphere that traps heat. Here is a tricky one. How many bones does an adult human body have? Think you know it? The answer is 206. Babies are born with around 270 bones, but some fuse together as they grow. Who wrote Romeo and Juliet? This one's a classic. The answer is William Shakespeare. One of the most famous playwrights in history, Shakespeare wrote this timeless love tragedy. What is the largest organ in the human body? Take a second. The answer is the skin. Your skin is the body's largest organ, covering about 22 square feet. Which ocean is the largest? Think about it. The answer is the Pacific Ocean. It covers more than 60 million square miles. What's the chemical symbol for water? This one's easy. The answer is H2O. 2 hydrogen atoms and 1 oxygen atom make up this essential molecule. Let's talk about inventions. Who is credited with inventing the telephone? Take a guess. The answer is Alexander Graham Bell. He was granted the first U.S. patent for the telephone in 1876. Which famous scientist developed the theory of relativity? Think about it. The answer is Albert Einstein. His famous equation, E equals mc squared, changed our understanding of physics. As we near the end of this quiz, I want to ask you, how are you doing? Are you surprised by how many questions you got right or wrong? Are you learning new things and having fun? That's what it's all about. Which element has the highest melting point? Think carefully. The answer is tungsten. With a melting point of 3,422 degrees Celsius, 6,192 degrees Fahrenheit, tungsten can withstand extreme heat. What is the only country that spans both Asia and South America? Take a moment. The answer is Turkey. Yes. Due to maritime borders, Turkey has an island, Chilean-owned, that touches South America. What is the most linguistically diverse country in the world? Think hard. The answer is Papua New Guinea. Over 850 languages are spoken there, more than anywhere else. Which famous structure took over 180 years to complete and is still under construction? Take a guess. The answer is La Sagrada Familia. Located in Barcelona, Spain, construction started in 1882 and is still ongoing. What is the smallest unit of measurement in physics? Think you know it? The answer is the Planck length. It is 1.6 times 10 to the negative 35th power meters, the theoretical smallest measurable unit of space. Which historical figure was known as the Scourge of God? Take a second. The answer is Attila the Hun. He terrorized the Roman Empire in the 5th century. What is the only U.S. state with a one-syllable name? Think hard. The answer is Maine. Every other U.S. state has at least 2 syllables. What is the densest planet in the solar system? Tricky one. The answer is Earth. Despite being smaller than some planets, Earth's density is the highest at 5.51 grams per cubic centimeter. Which chemical element is named after a female scientist? Think carefully. The answer is curium, Cm. Named after Marie Curie, the pioneer of radioactivity. Which European capital city is located on 2 continents? Take a moment. The answer is Istanbul. The Bosphorus Strait divides Istanbul between Europe and Asia. Which is the only number spelled out in English with its letters in alphabetical order? Think outside the box. The answer is 40. No other number follows this alphabetical order. Who was the first person to reach the South Pole? Take a moment. The answer is Roald Amundsen. The Norwegian explorer reached the South Pole in 1911, beating Robert Scott's British team. What is the only metal that is liquid at room temperature? This one's tricky. The answer is mercury. Unlike most metals, mercury remains in liquid form even at standard room temperature. What is the world's longest river by length? Think carefully. The answer is the Nile River. It stretches 6,650 kilometers, 4,130 miles, making it the longest river on Earth. Which famous scientist discovered the circulation of blood in the human body? Take a second. The answer is William Harvey. In 1628, he proved how blood is pumped around the body by the heart. Which 2 elements make up over 99% of the human body? Think hard. The answer is oxygen and carbon. These 2 elements make up the vast majority of our body's mass. What was the original name of New York City? Take a guess. The answer is New Amsterdam. The Dutch first settled it in 1624 before the British renamed it. What is the most abundant gas in Earth's atmosphere? Think about it. The answer is nitrogen. It makes up about 78% of the air we breathe. Which country has the longest coastline in the world? This one is tricky. The answer is Canada. With over 202,080 kilometers of coastline, Canada has the longest shoreline in the world. Which mathematician is credited with inventing calculus, alongside Isaac Newton? Take a moment. The answer is Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. Both Newton and Leibniz developed calculus independently, but Leibniz's notation is used today. Well, that's it. We've made it through all 50 questions, and I hope you had as much fun as I did. Take a few seconds to reflect on your performance. How did you do? What did you learn about yourself and your knowledge? What areas do you need to work on? Thanks for taking the challenge with me. If you want to share your score in the comments below, I'd love to hear it. And if you want to see more quizzes and challenges like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell. Also, check out this other video on my channel. It's all about the most interesting facts you never knew.